As our country is waking up on this solemn day. I'm Katie Smith. The assassination attempt on the 45th president will go down in infamy. Blood was shed last night, where not only Donald Trump was shot, a crowd member lost their life. 2 others remain in critical condition, and the shooter was taken out. Our thoughts and prayers will never be enough, but we extend them to everyone affected by this senseless act of violence. May God bless this nation. We will do our very best to bring you the most updated and factual information we can as more is learned. Americans have questions about the assassination attempt on Trump, rightfully so. To give us some insight into the inner workings is best-selling author and director of research at the Government Accountability Institute, Seamus Bruner. Seamus, thank you for lending your expertise. A question I think a lot of people have right now is, how did the shooter have this access to Trump, and how is security for these types of events handled?
Yeah, that's right, Katie. It's great to be with you. We're praying for the families of those affected and the guy who lost his life and those in critical condition. And the Secret Service, they responded quickly, and so the people on the scene deserve our respect and praise for how quickly they ended the threat. But yeah, there's a lot of questions. How on earth, what's the deal with this ladder leading to the rooftop? Why was Secret Service not able to protect the perimeter and the line of sight to the president? Everybody kind of assumes that this could never happen, and here it has. And so Trump does a lot of rallies. I don't think he should stop doing rallies. I don't think Americans should let their First Amendment rights be chilled and be afraid to go out in public wearing MAGA gear. But this is a really scary time for everyone, and we need to know how the Secret Service failed in securing this rally.
This really might fire the president up to do more rallies, I'd argue. We know that House Republicans want to speak with the director of the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheatle. She has been quoted as saying her priority is in diversity hiring. Shouldn't her priority be in getting the best men and women to protect their subjects? And do you think she's going to have answers for this calamity?
Exactly right. Everybody's talking about the DEI practices of the Biden administration. Biden appointed this woman, Kimberly Cheatle, who comes from PepsiCo. What sort of experience? You want people who have military experience, people who can secure hard targets and make sure that the president is safe at all times. And so, yeah, she's going to have a lot to answer for. I know that sources from within the Secret Service have complained about the DEI hiring practices. There was a petition launched by members of the Secret Service. And so, you had the Boeing crisis. Now you've got another Secret Service crisis. All of these agencies and companies that have been hit with these DEI policies, it's causing real damage. People have lost their lives. And so I think the entirety of DEI is called into question by this tragic event.
And we see a lot of politicians, mostly Democrats, saying we shouldn't question our law enforcement or government agencies because it undermines them and weakens the public's trust. If the public wasn't already distrustful, they are now. Why do you think it is important to take a deeper look at these agencies and not necessarily blindly trust in them?
Yeah, well, we need to be able to trust our institutions, and this shows that we just can't. I know a lot of people reacted when it says the FBI is now investigating this situation. A lot of people who support Donald Trump don't trust the FBI to do a good job, and so this just shows why trust in our institutions is critical. The fact we don't have it now is going to make people question the results of the investigations that are sure to follow. I know that James Comer's committee has promised to investigate the Secret Service. It's not a good situation where you have to rely on people of your political persuasion to do a thorough job, but I think that's where most Americans are sitting right now. Is the FBI going to be able to get to the bottom of it? Will the Secret Service admit that there were failures? We're so used to agencies investigating themselves and finding that they did nothing wrong. That can't happen in this case.
And I do want to point to one more thing, is before all of this happened, someone on the Democrat side actually called for Trump's detail to be taken away because he's a convicted felon. So this happened. RFK Jr. has called repeatedly to have a detail. He's even had a close call, or what it seems like is a close call, at one of his speeches in not very far away from another event that has taken place. So is there something to be said about maybe upping security detail, definitely getting RFK Jr. that detail that he has been pleading for. I mean, so many people are coming out condemning the fact that the Biden administration hasn't even thought about it. They immediately say, nope, sorry, RFK Jr., you don't need it. What do we do?
This is one of the things that our federal government should spare no expense. I mean, they've spent $200 million plus every single day in Ukraine since that conflict broke out. You'd think that they could spend a little bit of our money to secure our presidential candidates. Both RFK Jr. and Trump need robust Secret Service protection. This can't happen again. And just as far as that Democrat lawmaker who was trying to yank away Donald Trump's Secret Service detail. This just is, I mean, one example in a long line going back to 2015, basically a decade of high-powered Democrats. You remember Maxine Waters saying you have to get up into Donald Trump supporters' faces and make sure that they know they're not welcome here. You had Madonna and Johnny Depp talking about blowing up the White House. I mean, the temperature needs to come down, and the Democrat leadership in the House needs to lead the charge in that, because this is unacceptable type rhetoric.
Well, Seamus Bruner, best-selling author and director of research at the Government Accountability Institute, thank you again for your time.
Thanks, Katie.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.